99X. It is the Morning X, Barnes and Leslie, true crime. It's a thing that we really get into. Wow, do we have one for you right now. This is called the Yahoo Boys. That is what this whole segment is surrounding. Had you heard of it, Leslie, before we started talking about it off air?
Not at all. You sent me this article and I was blown away.
It's unbelievable, and there is a professor at Georgia State we're about to talk to who has been deep in getting insights into all this. Last year, $650 million in deepfake romance scams. And I guarantee you, someone listening right now has been touched by this because it's working in crazy circles with crazy technology, and there are a lot of people being duped and they don't even know it, and you're going to hear why in just a second. First, I want to start off with an audio clip. This is a 1-minute clip. This is a guy training and a lot of these people are in Nigeria, training people how to be a Yahoo boy.
There's training videos?
Training videos on how, you need an iPhone, you need a this, you need a that. And here's one part where he's talking about selecting victims.
And when it comes to finding the right person, you need to think of older people, emotionally vulnerable people, or people who are just looking for some sort of emotional attachment. And like I said, people share a lot of details on social media these days, so it shouldn't be hard for you to find people who fall into that category. Now, I say emotionally vulnerable people because you want somebody that is taken by sweet words. And when it comes to old people, the logic behind that is that an old person probably already has children who are set for life or who already have their job going for them. And they just have all this money, probably from their pension, just lying there waiting for the perfect Nigerian prince. And a lot of them are usually lonely. And if you can take advantage and if you can connect with that kind of person and offer the form of emotional support they need, you'll be ready to cash out.
Ready to cash out. How troubling is that? That's just one part of the training video.
It's like a training video, to be, I hate to say it, but you know what I mean.
A terrorist? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a terrorist of love. So I want to welcome David Maimon on, who is a professor at Georgia State University, also the head of fraud insights at identity verification firm SentiLink. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Absolutely. The work you're doing is so interesting. What do you think about that video that I just ran there, the training video?
I have to tell you that these are some of the training videos that we're seeing all the time. And we're seeing that during the last 2 years. We're seeing them developing their methods. We're seeing them improving the way they do things. And so the videos that you just showed is essentially come from many hours of them perfecting the art of romance fraud.
So these cyber criminals have been around a while, but when did you start investigating the Yahoo Boys, and when did they actually start? Like what time period?
The Yahoo Boys have been around for quite a while now. We know that they started during the 2000s to engage in the Nigerian print scams, And what they were doing then was essentially they were sending emails, phishing emails to folks telling them, pretending to be a Nigerian prince who essentially needs asylum in a state, and then offering the victim to funnel large sums of money. In return, the victim will keep some of the money with them, and then by them providing the Yahoo Boys with the bank accounts, the Yahoo Boy was essentially sort of stealing a lot of money from those victims. Back then, the scam was very primitive, sort of speaking, because they were just sending emails to pretty much everyone over the emails.
But we've all seen those in our inbox.
We've all seen those, right? And there are some thoughts around why they were doing this, why the story was so outrageous, sort of speaking. And some scholars believe that the story essentially focusing on gullible people. Not everyone will buy the story, and so the assumption was that if you bought the story that a Nigerian prince essentially reached out to you and he needs your help, you're gullible enough to actually provide with that information. So that was sort of the early days.
And some people are, but now you introduce technology and you're taking this, even in the last year, to such a high level. Can you really dumb it down and summarize, like, as we sit here today, what is the scam?
The scam is very simple. The Yahoo Boys are essentially stealing legitimate folks' images from their Facebook, Tinder, LinkedIn profiles, opening new accounts, and then on those dating apps, and then simply look for individuals to hook up with, right? Establish relationship with, long-term relationship with. They do it using different methods. Usually we know that there are a group of them sort of working together on the scam, while some individuals are responsible for coming up with interesting stories, editing images, bringing in those interesting profiles. Other folks are responsible for building rapport with the victims. Other folks are responsible for creating bank accounts, mule accounts, to which folks will be able to send the money. And so, after building rapport with the victim over the dating apps, what the criminals do is essentially they start asking for money for those individuals, right? After building rapport, they come up with stories of, them wanting to come and visit the victim in their home country. They come up with a story of them being hospitalized and they need help with paying the bills for the hospitals. And so that's essentially what the scam is all about.
Now, the thing that I read that you wrote for Wired magazine is this new face swapping technology. So now there's actual videos. How are they doing that?
So in the past, and when I'm saying past, we're talking during the last 3 years or so, folks were building those fake profile using stolen images, sometimes actually using AI generated images as well to sort of lure the victim to talk to them. But then they were stuck on the visual elements when they wanted to sort of talk to the victim's lives, sort of speaking. Mm-hmm. So, there was always this issue of the victim wanting to see who they're talking to. And, that Yahoo Boys were kind of, having issues with that because they didn't want to reveal their faces. But then come, the deepfakes technology, which allows them to essentially swap faces. And so there are a couple of really interesting software there that folks are using. One of them is called Expression Camera. What those software do is they allow you to swap faces with someone else and then have a live conversation with the victim without the victim having any suspicion that they're not talking to the person they're seeing on the screen.
Unbelievable.
Unreal. I have an actual excerpt of a real conversation between a victim and one of these Yahoo Boys when we come back after a quick break. And another whole genre, I'll take us out of the segment with it, is these Yahoo Boys mocking the victims in social media. And take a listen to this. This is a guy mocking a victim using someone else, and then you hear like his family in the background. So it's obviously not like, he's not who he says he is, but here's one of those quick videos.
Baby, believe me, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Are you sure you're not from Nigeria?
I swear I'm not from Nigeria. I'm a United States citizen. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, send your account details right now.
Okay, I'm gonna send the details right now.
Okay, bye!
Jesus! Put that come out now!
Don't bring lights on!
Hey, Jesus Christ! Don't fire you!
It's just so pathetic.
That is sick. I have so many questions. I know we're going to come back with David, right?
Yep, come back with David. I also have a clip of an actual, scam happening. It's gross, this thing. It's the Yahoo Boys. We're with David Maimon, a professor at Georgia State. We will be back. This is the original. It's 99X.